You will see along the bottom, our planning team, I don't know if you can see my arrow, but our planning team involved not only Nancy Patch and Ursula from the Leadership for the Ecozoic and the Gund Institute, but also a Canadian partner called Canadian Parks and Wilderness. And Conrad represents the Two Countries, One Forest. So we came together as a planning team for 2 years. I feel like we're like family now. We have really worked hard and long. And I wanted to give you these juicy statistics first to show you, like, this is some of the results, and usually don't show you results first, but I just thought I want to show you this before I walk into the, walk you through some of the planning processes and some of the challenges and essentials. But just, you know, I always read the last page of a novel first and decide if I'm going to read it. And I think here you see that you can say that after 2 years of work, we actually were successful in phase 1 of achieving our vision. The workshops themselves, this slide gives you a nice orientation to how each workshop went. And we spaced them out over 3 months so that we wouldn't impose on people's time, and people had time to digest and prepare and come back together. And indeed, they did, which was very, very gratifying and inspiring. So each day would start with an opening thought and acknowledgement by either an Indigenous elder or a next generation elder coming up, poet or spokesperson for their tribe, and then a land acknowledgement, and then some opening remarks. And I wanted to show you how we would have presentations by either an Indigenous leader or a researcher, and we organized them by different kinds of topics. So the first one you see is grasping the big picture, and then case studies, and then we would have a closing. And I just want to flag here that it was so important to all of us, and it took a lot of networking and relationship building, but it's very important to us that the Indigenous original peoples on the land were very involved in this, so that we were, you know, we felt like we were guided on a path that allows for inclusion of all voices on the land, and so that we could learn from people who were doing, cultures who have been doing ecological management on their own lands for a long time. So here's another sort of outcome that came from our 2 years of planning and the workshop series. These are the three goals that we have been mentioned a couple times so far. And I want to point out that we actually got to identifying strategies, even with 250 people involved, all these breakout groups. Part of the planning process included a lot of time in between workshops in order to digest and make sure we were collecting all of the good ideas that were coming forward and organizing them into strategies and mapping them back to our goals. So that's one clue about our planning that I think was really part of our secret sauce, was we gave it enough time to really process in between and keep the momentum going. So that's just a nice little planning tip that we learned. Moving forward, oh, before I forget, I want to mention, very crucial, we had to, we sort of, I wish we'd had a dating app for finding just the right facilitators, but we finally did land with just the right facilitators who got our vision and our picture, and were able to see not only that first phase of workshops, but where we were going in our next steps, and help manage all the data and information and organizational aspects of the logistics, but also they really could go deep in the topics by asking excellent questions, and they had enough knowledge about our vision and our participatory model that was another key ingredient in this planning. So taking time to find the right partners who can help facilitate things is really important. So moving forward about the project, just so you know, of course, bioregional, transboundary, social and ecological connectivity are the underpinnings of what we're all about. This involves not just 2 countries and 1 forest, but multi-nations when we include our Indigenous partners. So we're really shifting the paradigm of how we're all thinking and even how we're organizing ourselves. For example, under next steps, you'll see that our advisory group has gotten underway, and we really want to make sure that the way that we move forward into smaller groups and project-based work is a way that is comfortable and natural and allows for all voices to be heard. It's not top down, it's very much grassroots up. So I think that's an interesting kind of another example that contrasts perhaps with some of the differences of opinions. It's just how this is evolving. So instead of a top-down kind of structure to our smaller working groups, we have relationship building. Relationship building takes time. The report will be coming out. We're working towards a shared plan. And with this, thank you for your time and your attention. There is a website. We also have a Gmail account. There's my email information. And if you want to check out more about wildlands, there you go.